to all our viewers, and welcome to HR Enlight. Here is an episode of Bytes that we will be doing with a lot of people across coming weeks, calling it HR Enlight Bytes. To start with a quick introduction of HR Enlight, it's a human resource organization which is a standalone and a non-profit association of people designed in order to engage, enrich, and enlighten the HR fraternity across industries. The exclusive forum provides an opportunity to HR and business leaders to collaborate and work in partnership through varied interactions. One of them is right in front of you today. Well, to begin this session today, we have our very own Rishabh Parakh, who's been a part of HR Enlight for a very long time. Before we begin, I'd like to quickly introduce Rishabh Parakh to all of y'all. Rishabh Parakh is a chartered accountant by profession and a founder and chief gardener of Money Plant Consultancy, an established firm based out of Maharashtra with its operations expanded to Singapore and the UK as well. He's also an author of the book titled Financial Spirituality and a core committee member of HR Enlight and helps managing its tax and audits. Not only that, he's also a columnist for famous magazines like the Forbes, for CNBC, Economic Times, and Saka. So welcome Rishabh and good morning to HR Enlight Bytes.
Hi, thank you so much Prashant for having this session, and very good morning to you.
Great. So Rishabh, we are here to ask you a few questions. We are all in a difficult situation now thanks to the COVID-19. There are a lot of questions around financial stability for people, where they need to invest, how they need to invest. And I think this session is going to be extremely important for them to understanding the way forward. And hence the importance of this session. And that's why we've got someone like you on board to answer those questions as well. Yeah. So let me quickly start with the first one. Considering the current situation, should I cut down my investments, and is there going to be an impact on my investment? And I'm worried about thinking of stopping my mutual funds, SIPs, and also redeem invested money. What do you think I should do in these times?
So Prashant, as you rightly said, I guess these are very, very difficult times, and I would say these are really unprecedented times each one of us has witnessed. And these are, the first thing is like, this is also the things which are going on. We cannot even plan in terms of doing our financial planning. Nobody could imagine that we kind of locked down, we are not going to move around, we'll be just sitting at home. So that has really resulted in a lot of panic, and because there could be job losses, income, salary cuts, business losses. So it's a very valid question, very fair on a lot of people to ask this question in terms of like, should I cut down my expenses or stop or redeem my funds also? So there are a couple of things we need to understand before we take that call. So first thing first is, if you really think that your income is going to get hit or it is already hit, there is a cash flow issue or there will be some cash flow issues, there is no option for us to continue, like for that person to continue the investment. Yes, you have to stop those investments, SIPs for some time to come. But one important point, in case if you are able to manage those SIPs, you should never stop those SIPs. At max, there is a good facility which many people are not aware right now, is they can, rather than stopping or cancelling those SIPs or any other investment, especially with respect to SIPs, you can even pause. So you have the facility to pause the SIP for 3 months or so. So at least you, after these things become slightly better, you can continue those SIPs. So first thing is, unless it is really pressing issue for you because of cash flow, there is no choice, unfortunately. You have to stop. Otherwise, try to go for pause. And then the other question what you also said is, can I redeem my funds? Should I redeem my funds? So if it is out of panic because everybody else is talking about it, like job issues, business issues, the economy will again further go into recession, is going to be a big negative phase for times to come. In case if it is more about what other people are doing, then you have to stay calm and look at your finances, look at your personal finances. For example, if you have 1 year emergency fund, at least for a year or so, if you can manage your house, you have cash flow steady with you, there is no need to worry about redeeming your funds. Then second point is, did you invest this money because of redeeming this money in 2020? Let me give you an example. If I were to ask you, let me ask you, like if you have some amount of gold investments, right? Each one of us have some gold jewelry form, and you have properties, maybe one property or more than that, like maybe at least a house, let's say. If you have that, and suddenly if I'll come to you and say, because of this corona or because of any other reason, that gold price has, let's say, gone up by 30%, or property price has gone down, the house which you are staying in has gone down by 30%, will you start thinking about selling that house? Property price kam ho gaya? You may think, oh, this is not a good news to hear. My house which I am staying in, it was 1 crore rupees, now it is 70 lakh rupees because of XYZ economic situation. You may not think, because the purpose was very clear. You have purchased that house, bought that house to stay in, not to trade. Similarly, when you invest in the market, you have invested for achieving XYZ goals in future, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So if unless until those goals are immediate, you should not worry about redeeming it. Do not redeem, because time will change. Every crisis, if you look at 2008, 1929, any time during this period, the market will recover. It will take time, no doubt about it. It is not going to happen like overnight. It may take a year or so, or more than that. So stay calm, and unless you have cash flow issues, do not take any decision out of panic.
Good. I think the pause option is something which is very good for all of us, and the 3 months pause option is something which was enlightening for, I think, a lot of years. You spoke about gold, you spoke about house. So the next question, I think, I can ask you on gold. What is the best asset right now to invest in? You keep hearing that gold might go up to 80,000 rupees for 10 grams. So
I wish at least कुछ तो बढ़ना चाहिए when nothing is moving. If that is true, so that news what you talked about 80,000. So I'll come to that. But the first point what you asked about, what is the best asset class right now? So first, I think this is again a very, very common question, very fair question again, which every other person asking. Is this a right product to invest in? Is this a good scheme to invest in? So we keep talking about like this in terms of the product specific. But I'll keep I've been writing, I've been talking about this for long. Like, please, we should never ask this question. Is this a good product to buy? Is it a good scheme? What we should rather be asking is it a good product for me to invest in? Because every product which is designed is always designed with certain approvals. It doesn't come in the market without, unless it is a Ponzi scheme. Unless it is a scheme, 1 ka, 2 ka, 100 ka, 500 ho jayega 2 din mein, then that's a different thing, right? If it is like this. But if it is designed product, approved by something, it is a good product. So mutual funds bhi sahi hai, equity market bhi sahi hai, FDs bhi sahi hai, PFP, PPF and NPS, everything is right. Real estate include that also, gold for that matter. But what we need to understand, is it right for me? How much percentage of investment you want to make in that particular asset class? So go back to your asset allocation, go back to your financial planning, go back to your financial goals. Define. You may need an advisor, you may not need it. But point is, it's very easy. Like, put down those 5-7 goals: retirement planning, education for kids, things like this. Put timelines and decide, okay, how much amount should go to equity, how much amount should go to gold. Right now, when we specifically asked what is the good asset class right now, so unless you want to trade, unless you want to make quick money, okay, aaj dala, kal nikala, 2 mahine mein fayda utha, then it's a different thing. But to be honest, how many of us are going to do that? So I think we should not even be worrying what is the good product right now, because we don't need any specific short-term trade or gain. Right now, so it's not about gain also. If we can stay alive and sail through this, that's the biggest profit. So I would say focus on long-term goals, focus on short-term goals, basis that decide how much amount requires for which particular goal, and basis that decide. And then your risk profile, your age, maybe if you're young, you have lesser responsibilities, good income, husband, wife, both are earning, then go for equity, more of equity, go for gold also. So gold as an asset class. The second point what you ask is, how much amount should I invest in gold, or should I buy gold because it is going to be up by 80,000? So two things. One, we need to understand gold will go up and gold may always go up, because that's the reason it is called safe haven. When nothing performs, but nothing is going around well in the economy, people resort to gold. एक जमाने में, I don't know if you are aware of the saying, कि जब घर बिकता है तो सबको दिखता है. So there was an old, why our ancestors, our grandfathers and their fathers, like parents, they used to purchase gold. The reason is because of any emergency, you can take out that gold and go to a jeweler or sell it off and चुपचाप से हो गया. घर बिकेगा तो पूरी दुनिया को दिखता था ना कि अरे इसका कुछ emergency आया. So that is where gold is a safe haven since ages. So invest in that. invest some part of it in gold. If you are short of investment as an asset allocation, it is a good time to buy, because 45,000 may go up, may go down. What you need to understand, if you invest gradually and keep it for long term, there is no worry. Because if you are investing just because 45,000 10 grams may become 70,000 in the next 2-3 months, my point is, like, my question to you will be, what if it doesn't go up? What if it goes down to 40,000?
Correct.
And you have 5 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, and you put all in because of the news and people are investing, then it's going to be difficult for you, because you always need to be prepared for uncertainties, not because of, see, if 45,000 will become 70, 80 is good. You don't need us to do these sessions, right? Because, but agar nahi hua, then we have to do another thing like, ab kya kare? So you have to be prepared. If it goes down, are you able to hold it? So only invest that amount which you can invest for a couple of years. Don't invest just because of the news, and look at your asset allocation.
Sure. So we spoke about gold. Now let's talk about a little bit investment in the share market as well. So how does one decide how much to invest in stocks, or should we wait for the market to boom again?
Again, the same thing. Stock market. If you're talking about directly buying stocks, I keep saying, let me put it this way. There are 3 things. One, if you have good amount, when do you need to invest in stock market on your own? And when are you supposed to, or when does it make sense for us to invest in stock market on your own? You go and buy TCS, Reliance, XYZ companies. Do it only if you have good amount of money, good amount of time, and good amount of expertise to manage all this thing. And all these things together, not in or choices, right? So if you don't have good amount of time, means okay, this is the news, I should buy or I should come out of it. That is the time you should have. The money, it should not be like 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, or whatever amount, like a smaller amount. You 5 lakh, 5,000 ka liya, 50,000 ka liya, 1 lakh banaya, kam kiya. Then you will be spending a lot of time, which will not give you great returns, but it will take away a lot of your time, which should be invested in your job or business. So good amount of money also should be there, and which should not be more than 5 to 10% of your overall net worth.
Okay.
That will be risky. And third is expertise to know what to buy, when to come out of it. So time, expertise, and money. You need to be very clear about these 3 facts, 3 important points. And I keep saying, that's again my famous tagline. I've written it in my book also in sessions. You are your own stock. Okay. So you are your own stock means focus on your job or focus on your career. That's the biggest return on investment, ROI, will come from your business. So stock market, kariye. Be careful, mindful about those 3 things. और अगर आपको फिर भी करना है, because you want to try out, that's fine. Go for blue chips. Do not go for with the likes of ये छोटा कंपनी का सुना 100 का 500 होगा. It will be very, very disastrous and difficult for you to manage that. So go with 15, 17 good companies, top 50 companies in India. Decide whatever you are convinced with, buy that. Otherwise, go with mutual fund, go with SIPs. Somebody else will take care of you by charging some fees. There you pay brokerage. Here you will pay some expense ratio. But it will be easy for you. You can focus on your career. Go for mutual funds. Second important point what you asked is allocation part, right? How much should I invest? So if I have 100 rupees, so that's again a very, very important and classic thing what every investor asks. Go back to your asset allocation, go back to your risk profiling, your financial planning, your age, risk you can take. And basis that decide that maybe 20% amount should be in equity, maybe 40%, maybe 5%. So basis that you should decide. One size fits all will not work here. Like what is good for me, what is good for you may not be good for others.
Correct.
You need to be very careful.
No, I really love the line, you are your own stock.
Thank you.
And talking about your own stock in these times, how can one, we spoke about gold, we spoke about house, we spoke about a lot of things. What about insurance? What about health insurance? What is a good health insurance to invest in, or how does one go about doing it?
So insurance is a must, and so insurance, one thing is as a part of your financial planning, I would say. So let me tell you the core philosophy what we follow at Money Plan Consultancy. That is plan, protect, and play. So planning means buying a house, car, retirement planning, education planning for your kids. Then so these are the goals part, the planning part. The second important pillar, and these are I call these things 3 pillars, and there is no order as such, right? So planning, then protect, and then play. So protect means life and health insurance both. And then and the play stage is you have complete financial freedom. Like you do whatever you want to do in life. Once you have XYZ amount, your targets are met, your goals are met. So play stage. So plan, protect, play. Now, if you are alive, we are alive. We hopefully will keep earning more. with right now ये बात सही नहीं लगेगी because of corona and earnings and ज़्यादा कमाने का बात अभी नहीं है. अभी is more about जो है वो बच जाए वही बहुत बड़ा है. Right? If you can see suddenly the entire world, most of us who were in a growth mode, like falling कि अभी grow करेंगे, they are suddenly into survival or trying to make sure forget about growth. Last year का turnover या income match हो गया, that is also a big blessing for anyone. So, but having said that, if you really look at normal times, things will change and it will change. It shall pass soon. So planning will always be made, whatever goals you have in life, because we'll be there, we'll keep earning more, and we'll meet those goals. What if you're not there? That is where that protection is very, very important. And Corona has really taught each one of us to go back to essentials. See, ये हमने बचपन में थ्योरी में बहुत पढ़ा था, need versus wants, and correct. So अब ये it's a part of our life, essential versus non-essentials. We are living only out of like we know essentials क्या है. Even if you want to buy, you can't go out and buy any non-essential item because it's not available. Shops are shut. Correct. And you'll be surprised to know, and those who know us, if you Google us, you'll find even the book, the name you say, right? Financial spirituality. What does it mean? कितना पैसा चाहिए? I've been talking about this for ages now, like since the time 15 years plus I started my career. कितना चाहिए? When it comes to financial planning, that play stage, how much money you need. So I'm still on your question on protection part, but I'm just trying to give you everything is decided basis how much you need. 5 crore भी चाहिए, 50 crore चाहिए. Somebody could be happy with 5 crores. Somebody with 500 crores may not be happy. We don't know what works for you. So protection आप उतना जरूर रखिए कि जो आपके गोल्स हैं, आपकी इनकम, आपके लाइफस्टाइल, आपके इनकम के हिसाब से, यू नीड टू हैव गुड बेसिक अमाउंट ऑफ कवर. इट कुड बी लाइक 20 times minimum for your life insurance need, and add all the assets, reduce from the cover, add all the liabilities. So there are clients who come to us, or new people who like clients who come, and you will be surprised, like they have 2 crores. I have just got a client who is earning like very well, reasonably well for himself, and that person has 2 crores ka insurance cover, which looks good, 2 crores ka cover. But we will be surprised he has 1.5 crores ka home loan. So now can you really call, and he doesn't have other assets, let's say. The other assets are still like, because of the loans and all, these were just this. Point is that amount of insurance has to be decided based on everything factored into. Similarly, you asked about health insurance. Health insurance, those in job, and I think most of the people will be watching, who are going to watch this, are in jobs, salaried people. Like for them, health insurance there by your employer. That's a wonderful thing. Always exhaust that first, because you're not the one who's writing a check. But make sure, because the company, so you get a lot of benefits which I don't get as an individual. What we need to understand is buy a separate health policy, and as fast as possible, especially if you are 40 plus. Because in case you leave your job, or in case anything happens to your job, suddenly you'll be without a policy. Suddenly many things, like even maternity gets covered in your policy, isn't it? Am I right? Yes. If you are in a private job, even maternity thing expenses are covered, isn't it? If you buy a separate policy, you'll not get those benefits. So that's a plan to the disease. So you need to have a good amount of cover once you plan to retire early, or maybe at any point of time. So health and life is very, very important, because we are already living in uncertain times, and thinking that mujhe kuch nahi hoga is out of question now. So anything can happen to us now. That people knew it in the hindsight, but now that's a reality. So it's very, very important. Do your insurance audit. Go online. Even sitting at home, you can buy these policies, just for you to know. You don't have to worry about your market khulega tab jana. There are enough things. You can always drop us any questions. I will suggest you how and where to buy, and make sure this is very, very important for your family to depend on.
Perfect. Lastly, and the most important question, can you give me some tips to managing my personal finances going forward?
Oh yeah, that's very important now, because I think abhi to going forward hi baat ho raha hai, like everything, how to do, so I think there are a couple of important points I would say tips wise. One is, let me just use the last point first. Do your insurance audit. Check your insurance cover. If it is sufficient, if it is wonderful, if it is not, try to enhance it. Do that immediately. That's not a choice. Do not keep it as a choice. Maybe for 5,000 ka 10,000 SIP karna, 50,000 ka 60,000, that could be a choice. Zyada kam karna. But insurance is a must. So do that insurance audit first. Second, all said and done, this is a wonderful time for you to be with your family. You know that. Can you utilize this time for sitting with, like, maybe sit with your spouse, either of you. Like, you should know about all the investment each of one of you have done. The other person should know about the passwords. So create a backup file of all the passwords. Create all the a backup of all the documents. Each one of you should know, okay, these are the investors. Because generally in our busy lives, other way, we don't know, we don't get time to discuss each and everything. And we keep thinking, ye karna hai. Do that. Still, lockdown is not getting over. In fact, it was already announced. It will come in new color and size. So you are still going to sit at home for more time to come. So do those, sit with your spouse and do that and create a backup. Third thing is good part. Again, do your audit of your investment products, what you already invested in. If you are junk products, investment what you have done when you were young, couple of years ago, time nahi tha, somebody came, which you sign kar diya, investment proof ke liye kar diya, patapat kar diya. Come out of those junk products if you can, or maybe at least prepare a list. The moment things become normalized, you can come out of those products and invest in better products. So junk products is another thing what you need to be careful. Teach your kids. If your kids teach your kids about finances, and practically, let me say, I have 2 sons, so 6 and 11 years of age. So what I did during the initial days of lockdown, they were behaving well, and minded only during the initial days of lockdown. So I as a parent, I said, okay, you are behaving good. Let me reward you. I can't go take you out for a lot of things, but we used to go out. So now let me open my net banking. I opened my bank account. I made them set with me. And I have their accounts also open in the same account. So I opened my bank account. They could see Rishabh Parakh, they could see Kanai Parakh, Kian Parakh. I said, okay, let me transfer some money. So let's say I transfer 1,000 rupees to both of them.
Okay.
And said this now, because of your hard work, you are getting this reward, not as a bribe, but this is your reward. You can go out once the lockdown is over and buy whatever you want, and I'll keep rewarding you. So my younger one is still fighting with me. This is not a real money. Give me real money. So this is like all. So point is, even with this play, that gave me another chance to explain it. This is real money. So try to do all these things with your family. So that's again, try to do those things. And do not. So another tip is do not take any decision, because we are really need to understand. We are living in an information overload. एक आपको कितने लोगों ने आपको पीपीटी भेजा आत्मनिर्भर वाला जो अभी अनाउंस हुआ था परसों, और 90% लोगों ने ओपन भी नहीं किया होगा बिफोर फॉरवर्डिंग इट. राइट. Even if somebody is talking online and live or anything is going on, 2 मिनट के अंदर you get the same information from 100 different WhatsApp groups. Correct. So even if you don't want to think, people are making you go. There will be so much overload of information कि यार ये invest करूँ, ये नहीं करूँ, यहाँ निकाल दूँ, दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी. I would say stay away from all these news with respect to your personal finance. And in case अगर आपको पैनिक होता है, आपको एंजाइटी है, डर है या कुछ भी है, go back to your basics. आपका इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट है या कितना होगा? 5% आपने डाला, 20% डाला, अधिकतर तो प्रॉपर्टी में होगा. Look at your asset allocation. There is no need to worry. Keep calm and stay safe. And look at the migrants. Look at the labor. Like there are so many people. To be honest, like there are so many people. Even I am worrying. There are times which comes कि अरे मेरे business में suddenly growth से survival है या हम ये क्या कर रहे हैं? Look at those guys who don't work in the morning. They will not. If they don't work in the morning, they will not get the dinner. So we are way ahead of. God has been kind to us. So I think do not take any decision because you are panicking about कि मेरा 50 लाख था 40 हो गया या 5 लाख का ये हो गया. So I think keep calm. So a couple of these points will really help you sail through this time. Maybe a year's time. Don't worry and don't look at your portfolio regularly. What is equity market and cool. Don't buy anything just because of the news. If you want to get into stock market or mutual fund via direct stock or mutual fund, invest in tranches. Nobody can time the market. Correct.
So I think that was very, very insightful, Rishabh. Thank you so much for investing your time also and giving us all those valuable inputs. This is not the end of it for our viewers. You know, you can always reach out to HR Enlight and ask Rishabh more questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer it. And please stay tuned for more HR Bytes in the coming future. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Rishabh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rishabh.